I think most of you know me, but if not, I am the nephew of Auntie Adeline and Uncle Dan, and I've been asked to say a few words about the two of them. I'll start with you, Auntie. And part of the reason I'm up here is because Auntie was very encouraging in our life, especially in stuff like speech arts. In fact, paying for some of the speech arts that was taught by my cousin Lane. So I hope I make you proud when I'm up here. But Auntie, you have been more than an aunt. It starts with all the recitals she went to. Piano, speech arts, Ukrainian dancing. Auntie was at all of them. We always knew who would be in the audience. It'd be Mom, Dad, Baba, Gino, and Auntie. So it was really special to have you in all those moments. They played a big part in our life. And it wasn't just in that. As you know, Uncle Dan and Auntie loved to travel. And every time they traveled, Auntie had to make sure she brought something back for myself and my sisters Christine and Catherine. It didn't matter whether it was as close as Vancouver or as far away as Europe, Auntie had to buy something. In fact, there was one time, apparently, where she was at the airport, hadn't got me anything, and she ran like crazy just to get me something, just almost missing her flight. And as Uncle Dan would say, would she do that for me? Fat chance. But she did it for little Mikey. So to that, Auntie, your dedication to the family and your love is second to no one. And then there's Uncle Dan. How much time do I have? Growing up with Uncle Dan has been quite a unique relationship for me. One of the things that bugged him is he never thought that I was tough enough. Your daddy, he's too soft on me, he's too soft on me. I need to toughen you up, I need to toughen you up. So when I was in high school, he had me dig up his garden. So that's one way to be a man. Come over and dig up my garden. So Uncle Dan heads off to work and I'm digging up his garden. And then he comes home and picture him, he's in a navy suit, he's coming back from a law firm, navy suit, he's got his briefcase, comes around the back and he sees me digging. And he doesn't say anything at first, he just does this. And then he looks at me and goes, "What are you doing? You are going to be here till 2 in the morning." And I'm looking at him, and he says, "Give me that shovel, give me that shovel." And he takes the shovel and says, "You can't shovel like this. You need to shovel like a man." And he throws the shovel away and leaves. And I look down on the ground, and it's twice as dirty as it was before. So I guess the lesson that Uncle Dan taught me is to be a man, you don't have to do a good job, but you have to be aggressive. That's all that matters. But you know, Uncle Dan is very, very generous. One of the nicest things he ever does for me is he always tells me I'm his favorite nephew. In fact, he'd phone my house, I'd answer the phone, and he'd say, "How's my favorite nephew?" And I must admit, that's a lot nicer than sometimes when I'd phone him, and he'd answer the phone, and I'd say, "Auntie?" But it really, really makes me feel good to know that was his favorite nephew. And one of the things he liked to do for his favorite nephew is take me golfing in Windermere, because I love to golf. And he'd take me once or twice a year. Well, one time he phones me, and he says it's going to be you, my buddy Johnny Hess, and Douglas Phillip, who's a nephew on the other side of the family. So I said, this would be great. So anyways, I'm at Windermere, I'm at the putting green, and Uncle Dan and Douglas are on the other side. Johnny Hess shows up. And Uncle Dan's like, Johnny, come here, come here, come here. Johnny comes up, he puts his arm around Douglas Phillip and says, "I want you to meet Douglas Phillip, he's my favorite nephew." And I just sat there, I never felt more alone on the putting green. I guess everybody's his favorite nephew. So Douglas, when you come up to speak later, just know it really doesn't mean much. And one other way where Uncle Dan was really generous is right after I got married to my wife, Nikki, I was still in school and Nikki was working, so we had one income. So he gave us a big break by letting us manage Hollywood court apartments. And we were very, very appreciative of this, and it was 3 years that really helped us get to where we are, so thank you. However, when I think about my time in Hollywood court apartments, it comes to mind a story of how the couple, how Auntie Adeline and Uncle Dan are. I have many examples, but I think this one is a really good one. So I think most of you have seen Hollywood Court apartments. They're built in around 1967. They're absolutely beautiful. They've been kept very well, and I'm very, very proud to live there. But with an older building, especially one near a field, there sometimes could be a bit of problems with the mice. Well, I had known my wife for years, and I thought with my wife named Mickey Mouse, she wouldn't be scared of mice. But I soon found out, when we saw a mouse, it terrified her to no end. So my wife Mickey calls Uncle Dan and says, "Look, I saw a mouse. What do I do?" He goes, "Listen, sweetie pie, just put some traps up, it'll be fine. Get some traps, it'll be okay." We put some traps up, there's still mice. So we call up our handyman, Hank Gorski. And Hank Gorski comes over with a bag of traps. And he says, "Danny says put up traps. Put one down by the landing, put one up by the laundry room, put traps everywhere, it'll solve the problem." There was still mice. So a few days later, we're at a family dinner, which happens quite often, and Auntie was there. And Mickey just happens to casually mention to Auntie that there's some mice in the building. Well, the next day, Uncle Dan's on the phone, exterminator comes in the afternoon, mice problem was resolved. And then Mickey grabbed a bag of traps, walked across the field and said, "Hey, you can have these back." So even at that moment, we know who calls the shots in this family and this marriage, even when it comes to my uncle's property. But you know what, Auntie Adeline and Uncle Dan, what you have done is you have given hope to all other marriages, especially ones that are just up and coming. Like my wife and I are under 10 years. Because now when I look at Mickey, and if she's really upset at me for something I did wrong, I can say, "Look, Auntie Adeline put up with him for 15 years on the table." Now in all seriousness, Auntie Adeline and Uncle Dan, you have been more than an aunt and uncle to myself, my sisters, and now my two little boys, Ethan and Connor. You have been incredible positive influences on my life. I am very proud to have an aunt and uncle like you, and I love you both. And congratulations on 50 years to two beautiful people and a wonderful couple. Thank you.